Why, hello! And I think you can hear me. Welcome to session 5 of The Glittering Night, which we are playing in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I am your storyteller, Stu. And as some of you may know, there's some stuff going on in the world, so we're doing our games remotely right now, if maybe you've heard of it. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the players one at a time, and then you guys go ahead and tell them who you are. Joey.
Hey guys, I'm Joey. I'm playing Colin Shaw, the Toreador who is too fabulous for words.
Pooja.
Hey, I am Pooja. I am playing Lakshmi Shaw, sorry, the Tremere.
Stork.
Isn't Lakshmi Singh an NPR reporter? I was like, I know that name. Hi, I'm Stork. I'm playing Floyd Gilmore, a currently torpored brouhaha.
Samantha.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'm playing Anna Sophia, who is a Malkavian.
Ooh, your bandwidth just took a huge hit, because I can tell by the audio that you're speaking. Are you plugged in or are you Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
That might be why. Jim.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm playing Felix St. John, your local Nosferatu know-it-all.
Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm just. But before we do, let's go ahead and do the catch up from last time.
Who's going to summarize our stuff then?
Oh, no, it's always Sam. When you play with Sam, it's always Sam. She's so eloquent and has the best summaries ever. And look, she even has a cool book.
Which is like appearing and disappearing.
It's magic.
It's going into another dimension.
I had to conjure it from hell. Okay, so outside the cathedral, there was a loud banging noise. Anna Sophia looked out the window to see Tony's sharpener truck. She noted the license plate, and he bore a message from Silas. A female coyote without a bait with a tin can. 243 south of Pinecone Road. A street with no name. There will be danger. Anna Sophia gave him her vision drawing to see if Silas recognized it. Tony sharpened her sacrificial knives while she texted the congregation, "You up?" and Google mapped Pinecone Road. Apparently there's a highway 243 in the area. Colin awakes, plays the violin, and does his American Psycho workout routine. Lakshmi checks in with her contact about the Smash Chat app. It's a newish app with a small user base that was bought 3 years ago. Contact is going to look into who purchased it. Felix was busy with editing, working overtime, and Floyd patrolled the neighborhood on his way to the cathedral. The coast looked clear. Anna Sophia filled the others in on the message from Silas. Floyd suggested upping patrols to include the Pasadena area. Lakshmi deciphers the Smash Chat code. It seems the dead guy didn't send pics, but alerted someone of possible quote-unquote big cheese action on San Fernando Boulevard. Using Google Earth to narrow down her and Silas's visions, Anna Sophia found a likely location. She called George Palmer, relayed the information, and it matches up with info he has about the weapons drop. He says he could use some backup, so the crew agrees to meet him at Colin's house at the Americana. He arrives and asks if we are going to suit up, ? We don't have tactical vests, dude. We can stop on the way. He suggests taking 2 cars. Colin borrows one from the parking garage, and the caravan heads out east towards Idlewild. We arrive around 1 a.m. The cabins are dark, but we see some activity at the storage unit. Lakshmi tries to sense unseen, but gets nothing. She sees 4 people armed with assault rifles, unloading from the truck into the storage unit. Plus, there are 4 unarmed. Floyd's conscience flares up, and he tries to convince the crew to talk to the Inquisition instead of murdering them, but everyone was unconvinced. George went up the hill to snipe the armed guards while the crew moved in to take out the unarmed. Floyd blinked up to the front gate and tried to bluff one of the guards like an idiot. They didn't buy it. Floyd tried off, but it didn't work. Anna Sophia, Lakshmi, and Colin hopped the fence while he's being distracting. The guard says, "Light him up," and the other guard raises his gun. Then his head explodes. Colin hops up onto the garage roof while Lakshmi goes into the office. Notices that the security cams are off. There's also a dead guy in there. She moves to the window and spits poison blood at the other gate guard, and he falls to the ground. Anna Sophia lays in wait for one of the back guards while George snipes the back right. Lakshmi climbs onto the roof of the office. Anna Sophia shoots guard 4 in the face. He drops, and she drains him and takes his assault rifle. Floyd jumps the fence. The sniper rifle booms again, and the truck shudders. A guard shoots at Floyd, hitting him. Colin jumps down from the roof of the garage and stabs a guard with a sword. Lakshmi sneaks around the back of the garage. Anna Sophia sneaks up invisibly to the back of the garage and spots 3 guards with guns in the truck. Floyd blinks back to the truck and brawls with one of them. The other 2 guards shoot at him, and he is down for the count. Colin takes his guard to Stab Town, eviscerating him and nods him a little, getting a stain in the process. Lakshmi passes this scene and sees Floyd down with 3 guards facing.
Hey, Samantha?
Yeah.
Its audio is getting worse. Can you try disconnecting and reconnecting real quick?
For sure.
Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Oh, it's not Skype. It's not going to make that noise. We're just waiting a second to see if the connection improves.
The only problem with this is I hate looking at myself.
Well, put tape over that section of the thing.
That's a good idea.
Or you could use this as a grand opportunity to, enjoy looking at yourself.
I've returned. Is this any better?
Yes.
Hooray!
You want to continue?
Sure thing. Hold on. Alrighty. Why is that making a weird noise?
It sounds like it's attempting to call someone.
Oh, because I wasn't muted.
Oh.
Figured it out. Alright, let's see. Where was I? Oh, Lakshmi was flinging her own blood at these guards, casting Dagon's cult, which made the blood boil and fill the guards' lungs with blood. It was very cool. Anna Sophia compelled the other guard to shoot his friend in the face, and he did that. George shot the other one. Colin awed the shit out of the last guy standing and made him a ghoul, and then fed on the unconscious guy. Lakshmi took Poison Blood Guy to Snacktown. We loaded up as many of the guns as possible and then dragged Floyd to the truck so we could get the fuck out of there, passing 3 pickup trucks on the way out, noting their license plates, and then headed to a safe haven in the Inland Empire. On the way, Lakshmi got a call from her contact, Sujin. Dane Brookmeyer, the owner of the Smash Chat app, sold to Innovative Investments, a shell corporation of Broadfield Investments and General Investments, which all sounded like very legitimate businesses. The next night, Floyd had begun to heal but was not awake yet. Lakshmi activated a bloodstone tracker and put it on our Inquisition ghoul, Stanley Cartwright. His sins are apparently mostly murder. Anna Sophia and Colin encouraged him to turn those talents on his own kind for us. He says he can stake out the safe house in San Bernardino. Apparently he gets his supply from a dead drop in Vegas. We got the address to both. Operation Persistent Dawn is what the Inquisition calls themselves. And the Smash Chat user Sin City Slick 69 gives him his instructions. Colin uses Lingering Kiss on him to addict him to his blood, then gets info from him about what intel they have on the Kindred. Their main target is Los Angeles. He thinks there are 3 teams of operatives there, 1 data intelligence, usually a basement of a high-rise in a central location. and about 50 to 60 people on the ground. Your primary recruit targets are former Spec Ops without families and combat experience. Then Colin forbids him from saying anything about us, wishes him luck in his murder quest, and sends him off with a tracker in his pocket.
Okay. So now we were talking earlier before we started streaming about what to do with Stork's character, because he's going to spend the next, best case scenario, 7 days in torpor, assuming he makes all of his rolls. So the consensus is that we're going to fast forward about 7 days, but very briefly, is there anything anyone wants to do? Not too significant, obviously, because we're trying to fast forward. But is there anything anyone wants to do during this time?
I'd like to spend some of my ill-gotten gains from all those houses that we burned down to upgrade the security on the cathedral.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to.
From now on, when it's a situation like this, when we're kind of wave your hand first, and then talk, just so we don't have that anymore. Go ahead, Jim.
Any progress on that Halon system I wanted installed?
Where was the Halon system being installed?
In my lair.
Well, during the week, that's probably going to get done.
Okay, yeah, I'm overseeing that.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have spent that time trying to put in an order to Riley in Milan to get some fashion protective gear.
Okay.
Because now that I know that's a thing, that's what I want.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to piggyback on your order there.
Some Kevlar vestments would be kind of nice.
Okay.
Kevlar vestments. Oh, I dig that the most.
Bulletproof.
I can't wait till Sam actually ends up having to talk to Riley. It's going to be great.
All right. So that's it. Everyone's got their kind of what they want to do for the next week, and we're going to go ahead and magically fast forward. I don't know what the date is. I don't remember. Let's see.
We started on the 9th of January last time, so a week from probably the 17th. Is what we're looking at.
Let me write that in here.
Yeah, because the day after all the crazy was January 10th. Or
Okay.
I should say the night after.
So we'll assume it's January 17th. All right.
Okay, so I do have a question, though. When I wake up, am I going to be down 7 points of blood, or how is that supposed to work?
No. Your hunger is your hunger. So what was your hunger at the end of that combat when you went out when you got knocked out?
I had it at 1 when we showed up at that place.
Okay.
So.
The only thing that would happen is that if you failed rouse checks, you would gain hunger, and if you gained hunger to 5 by the time you would have woken up, then you would be in torpor for real and not be able to get out of it. But we're going to assume that people were feeding you blood. That the other members of your coterie were feeding you blood. Okay. Probably not their own, I'm assuming. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, dude, didn't you want to blood bone me, Joey?
Yeah.
That was an idle threat.
Well, it turns out that the only one of us who might actually follow through with said threat was Jim.
And I think in order to be blood bond, you have to be a higher level, and I think we're all the same at 2.
Yeah, I think we're all 2.
Oh, you're talking about blood potency?
Yeah. I think in order to bond another vampire, you have to be a higher potency than that. Anyway.
Trying to look up my potency.
If you have those PDFs that we have, those printable PDFs, it's on the second page.
I'm a blood potency of 2.
Okay. Is it? Hold on a second. All right. So now, did you guys during this week? Am I going to assume that you guys established some sort of new, like central meeting place, or are you going to continue to use the church since it's been upgraded?
I think the upgrade was for personal safety.
Okay.
And still want to have another location to actually like meet and plan stuff.
Okay. Anyone have any idea what they want that to be?
It sounds like since our though let me know if this is too close to Colin's actual haven, like because there are all these little storefronts and shops near the Americana, like both along Brand and Central or like Glendale Avenue, like anywhere in there we could co-opt like a building or a like an abandoned storefront in there, and just use that for the time being.
Okay. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where is this abandoned storefront?
You know what idea I really like? You know, there's an abandoned mall right near Eagle Rock.
Oh damn! I did not know that.
Yeah, well, it's mostly abandoned. I think it has one store, like anchor store, and then a couple of little things. But it's like 80% abandoned. It's like right there off of the 134, I think. But yeah, it's just like this empty mall. I think it's that's so current times. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's perfect. It actually reminds me of this mall from my hometown where it was the old mall before the new mall, and then the new mall got built, and it ended up being like a high-speed data center in its like new life. So we could even say that like this place has been laid for fiber access and stuff like that.
Okay.
Works for me.
I just read up on blood bonds because something didn't sound right. Unlike many disciplines, nothing prevents a vampire from employing a blood bond against a vampire of lower generation or one whose blood is more potent. So it is an option. I'm just saying. Going once. Going twice.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Only it well.
What?
Oh, I was saying this could only end well,
Right.
seeing as we just read an entire journal about how well this goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we will assume over that week that you fed him the requisite amount of blood. All right. So it is the night of January the 17th. Everyone, please make a rouse check, including Stork, who gets to wake up. Oh, and by the way, we're doing all the dice rolls on the honor system. So if Stork suddenly starts getting critical success after critical success, we'll know what happened.
That's one die, and you need like what? Like a 6 or better?
6 or better.
Sweet. I just got 1 6.
I got an 8.
You got to push to talk.
I think I am hungry.
Okay, so you were you at Hunger 1 before this? 2?
I was at Hunger 0 because I noshed on that.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right. So now you're at 1. Okay. Did you make it, Samantha?
Nope, I'm also at Hunger 1 because we did a murder.
Okay. Stork? Stork? Did you wake up? You need to push to talk. I can't hear you. You're muted. You're still muted. You're still muted. There you go. Now you're muted again.
I was pushing to talk, but for some reason it's not working. So yes, I check your Slack, Stu, and yes, I made it with a critical success.
Oh! Well, you can't get a critical success on a rouse roll because you have to have 2 10s. And you're only rolling 1 die. And I'm checking Slack. Okay. All right. So everyone wakes up. Did you guys put Floyd in the safe, the old mall, the closed down mall? Is that where you?
I think that's probably the best place. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Stork, your character wakes up in an completely unfamiliar place. You have no idea where you are. Probably a back room. There's probably maybe a small server farm here. couple racks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what do I look like? Am I tied up? Am I chained to a wall? Am I still wearing my vest, my bulletproof vest, which didn't do anything, by the way?
Did you guys kind of leave him in the same state, or did you do anything to him?
You know what? No. I'm going to say that well, at least I did. I cleaned him up, put him in some fresh clothes, probably something sort of loose-fitting and comfortable. And he's not restrained in any way. Since we've been feeding him blood, there's no reason for him to wake up in a frenzy. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like we also would have left him a note, or at least, probably would leave him a helpful note of like, "Hello,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
why you're in this place? Goodbye."
You know, it's like either that or it's the frat boy thing where I wake up with dick on my head and
No, like on a motion sensor, there's a recording
Okay.
that just starts playing, going, "Easy now. You're safe. We put you here. It's our new safe house. Just hang on. There's a cell phone on the counter over here. Give us a call."
Also, we had someone give you a bath.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll make the phone call.
Okay. Who's he calling?
I'm assuming it's Blood Buddy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's it's a new phone, so whatever phone number is alphabetically there, who would it be? I guess I'll just get whatever the first phone number is that is in the phone when I call.
It is Felix.
Pick up. Ah, so you woke up, huh?
Yeah. What did I miss? I guess we won. You weren't there. What's going on?
Okay, so from what I understand, yeah, we won. You were hurt pretty bad, so we're about a week out from when you were last awake. We
Yeah.
decided to set up that new safe house, which is basically an abandoned mall you're in. Well, you're safe there, and I left you the tools in order to contact us once you got up. How you feeling?
Really disoriented and sore, which is something I haven't felt in a very long time.
Yeah, well, you took quite a mauling there, so that makes sense. I went ahead and left you a bag of something in the fridge over there, just in case you needed it.
Oh, but there's a fridge. Dude, great. I need to get out and check on my herd. Is this unlocked?
No, you're free to go out, man. It'll lock behind you. No worries. If you look, there's a little box right next to where I left the cell phone. There are keys to the place, and there's your phone as well.
Great. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, man. And remember, you're still kind of delicate, so keep in touch and don't do anything crazy.
Cool. So, Stu, I'm going to go check on my herd
Okay.
And because I think they actually need to be maintained as well, right? If they don't get fed on, don't they get weird?
Maybe. I don't remember. Sure. Yeah.
There's that whole ecstasy thing when they get fed on and all. Yeah.
Yeah, and that might kind of go away after a while, I suppose. That makes sense. So, okay. Colin, what are you doing?
Yeah, I woke up at my apartment. I am trying to get some information to my the head of my clan, my primogen.
Okay.
Correct. Just basically trying to give as much information that we got from our last mission to them, to kind of make them aware what's going on, but also kind of up my importance a little bit amongst the Toreador. Like, look what I'm able to do. I'm supplying you with all this information.
Okay.
take notice of me.
So you're going to call Paul Morphy, who is Primogen for the Toreador, and also Seneschal to Miroslav.
That's correct.
Okay. So you convey all that information to him. So what information are you giving him specifically?
Yeah, I'm giving him the information about Smash Chat. I'm giving him the information about basically all the stuff that Stanley gave us as far as what the Persistent Dawn knows about us. Okay. And that their main focus is LA, and that they believe they have 3 teams working in there. And what we found out about the likely location of their base being in like underground area of a big skyscraper, to try to see if we can mobilize some kind of attack against those types of areas.
Okay, hold on 1 second, because I wasn't recording. I'm going to start recording now. Welcome to session 5 of the Glittering Night in Vampire 5th edition. We're starting the recording sort of mid game, just to catch you up. We're skipping ahead a week because Stork's character was left in torpor from an enormous amount of damage. He is now awake, and he was left in a room because the party has a new safe house where we're going to meet that's more secure and not blown. And now we will continue with the game in progress. There you go. Perfect. Smooth as silk. All right. Lakshmi, what are you doing?
Oh, I am going to compile, like, while we were gone, I would have been able to track the bloodstone to the safe house that Colin's ghoul went to. So I would like to know where that was and see the aftermath of what happened.
Okay, all right. So are you gonna do it like drive by there, or?
Yeah, I think at first I'll do a drive by. I'll scout it out.
Okay, all right. I'll get to that in just a minute because you got to drive there, and that's I'm gonna guess Pomona, so half hour away probably from where you guys are. Samantha.
I think let's see. Anna Sophia is probably in the church, just hanging out, doing her usual.
Okay.
Also, I did have a question. I had a note from last time about what do we get for working towards our ambition, because I think a couple of us did that.
Is that willpower? Do you get back? I think you get willpower back. Isn't that it? Or is that do you get an XP boost? I don't remember. I'll look that.
I think it's a willpower thing.
I think that used to be what it is, and hardly anyone's even remembers to use willpower right now. So let me see if it says on here. Yeah, it doesn't. I will look that up when we have a brief lull when you guys are talking amongst each other, or unless someone else wants to look it up. Okay. Felix, you get a call back from trying to basically you're going to get the same information that that they got
on the app, you mean?
Yes, on who owns it, and I'll just give you a brief summary of that to kind of bring you up to speed. Basically, the guy who owns it sold it to another company, which is owned by another company, which is owned by another company, and these are all very vaguely named shell corporations. So clearly, it's owned by. The conclusion that he made was it's either owned by the government or the mob. So, but he did this. Your I don't know if did I mention the server farm last time? Yeah, go ahead, Pooja.
At the end of a session in which a character has worked towards their ambition, they recover a 1 point of aggravated willpower damage.
Okay, all right. I don't think anyone's taken any willpower, correct? Okay.
Not that I know of. However, fun and exciting. I understand superficial versus aggravated damage, for like health, but not for willpower at all.
It works. Well, here's the things you can do with willpower. You may take 1 point of superficial willpower damage to re-roll 3 dice. You may not re-roll hunger dice. You may not re-roll rolls against tracks, that is, humanity or willpower. You may not re-roll checks, including rouse checks. So if you get a crappy roll and you want to pick up 3 of your dice and re-roll them, you can do that most of the time, but not on hunger dice, not on track rolls, or rouse checks.
But it still doesn't answer the fundamental question of what's the difference between aggravated and superficial willpower damage.
Aggravated willpower damage you take in social conflict. Because basically the conflict...
Oh, yeah. There's a combat system for social stuff.
And it's essentially exactly the same, at least at the basic level, it's exactly the same as a regular combat system. It's just if you're, exchanging witty repartee with another vampire, let's say at court, they may humiliate you enough that you actually start taking aggravated willpower damage. So you can, that's basically how you would take it. But you can take a superficial willpower. Also, when you get to 0, you're considered, what's the term for that? Impaired. And then you're at negatives to a bunch of stuff. So
just so everybody knows, that is not the fault of the Strategicon T-shirt. That is very well made T-shirt.
It is. This is
hold a microphone well.
Fine, high quality T-shirt. It really is one of my favorites. All right. So now I don't think did I mention anything about the server company for Smash Chat last week? I don't think I did.
Not that I remember.
Okay. All right. So Felix, your guy is able. He says he can't buy the Smash Chat app because he can't actually talk to anyone who would have any sort of authority to sell it because it's owned by a succession of shell companies. However, he says that the guy who originally developed the app, his name is Dane something or other.
Brookmeyer.
Dane Brookmeyer, that's him. He tells you that he owns the company that owns the server farm that Smash Chat uses, and he is willing to sell that if you want to buy. And that's in the basement of the same building where the development team that made Smash Chat works.
Absolutely, I would buy that.
Okay. All right. So you're that is in the process of happening. Okay. So we'll assume
It's a bit rich.
It's its own discipline unto itself.
Okay. All right. So you've got that going. And anything else anyone is going to do, or should we fast forward to the point where you guys meet? Or are you going to?
Actually, yeah, I have a small plan.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to set up a social media contest called Tunnels and Trolls, where you go into downtown and you play basically live action sort of RPG / hunt, where you have to go into the basements of office buildings in downtown and look for clues.
Okay.
And the more you report about what you find, the more points you get. And the prize is, I'm going to pick like a really cool like gamer laptop.
Okay. All right.
That reminds me, last session, Stu, I wanted to have my herd go check on veterans and see if they had any information about people trying to contact veterans to join this Inquisition. Because I know that a lot of homeless people are vets and there's some overlap there.
Right.
So within that week, so that's the reason I will go to have checked with my herd to find out if they've heard of anything.
How many dots do you have in herd?
Or, hold on a sec. 2.
2. Okay. Okay. One of the one of your herd does tell you that none of it, obviously no one's asked them, but does tell you that he had a buddy who was contacted by someone like 4 or 5 years ago, who was obviously worked for some kind of shadowy organization. The guy wasn't sure if the guy was government or if the guy was maybe organized crime. He really didn't know. He just wasn't interested, and he sort of waved off of the whole thing. But it did. The guy did. He didn't like come out and say you're going to be hunting vampires, but he did say that this is sort of on the edge of the things that people think they know about the world, and he sort of alluded to things like that. And he can give you like a description of the guy, but the description is going to be very nondescript, and he's wearing a cheap government suit with a black tie, that kind of thing.
I just need more like points of contact.
Okay.
Maybe than like meeting places or something like that. I'm assuming they go to like all the PTSD meetings around town and try to recruit kind of a Blackwater kind of thing.
Okay. Well, this happened a few years ago, so that's about the only lead you can find. But the member of your herd can put you in contact with that guy if you want.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God! I keep rubbing the wrong mouse.
I would say the solution is to only have one mouse, but it hasn't helped me at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I do too many things. I need too many computers.
I way overthought how I was going to do this setup, so I'm doing pretty golden.
I need some more tabletop space. That's the issue here.
Same.
My issue is I have too much crap covering all of my open spaces.
Yeah, that too. But, the solution is to get more tabletop space.
I like the way you think, lady.
Okay. He tells you the guy's name is Lucas Walton, and he gives you a phone number, and he gives you his address. That's to Floyd. Oh, he didn't hear me, didn't have his earbuds in. Now he has one earbud in.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. The guy's name is Lucas Walton. That's the combat vet who was approached by Persistent Dawn. And they give you his cell phone number and his address. He lives in, we'll say like Alhambra. So, Lakshmi, you drive by the safe house, and there is police tape around it. The house itself looks intact. It doesn't look like there's any windows broken out or anything like that. But there is police tape. It looks like they've put up, those not the orange cones, but the orange tubes they put up. You know what I'm talking about? They have those, and they have the tape wrapped around those things to kind of string off the front yard of this house. And it's like a typical tract home in Pomona, little ranch-style house. But looking at the house, it doesn't look like there was a shootout or anything.
Copy that. Can I find out what happened there? Like, look into the police reports and
Okay.
Get the deets.
Yeah, you could first thing you can do like a news search, and it says that there was a shooting here. There were no suspects. All the neighbors said that they thought the house was vacant, and when they heard gunfire, someone called the police, and by the time the police showed up, whoever was there was gone. And they did. No bodies were found. The only thing they found was shell casings on the floor.
Okay. I would like to try to sneak in
Okay.
and see if there's anything I can find there.
Okay. Just give me. How do you do stealth? I don't remember how to do stealth. Is there a stealth thing, or is it subterfuge? Probably.
There's a stealth
Oh,
skill.
there is a stealth skill. There you go. Okay, stealth plus dex. Don't forget your hunger dice.
I got 2 successes.
What's your hunger die?
It looks like a normal success. I don't have my cheat sheet that you made for us because it's still
okay.
at your house.
But your hunger die isn't a 10 or a 1.
I got the vampire app to roll dice because my dice are also at your house.
Oh, okay.
So it says the result is 2 successes, and I used a hunger dice, and it is the normal like crossy thing.
Okay. All right. So you're able to get inside, and this house is it's in total disrepair. Lawn's real tall. I mean, it's made to look like no one's ever here. And when you get inside, the refrigerator, there's a small amount of food. There's like some lunch, like some sandwich meat and like a pack of cheese. And you find like a loaf of bread. And there's a few cans of like beans and chili and stuff like that in the cabinet. But I mean, there's not a lot of food here, but probably like a grocery bag and a half worth of food. There's blankets and like mats rather than beds in a couple of the rooms. Looking around at the way things are arranged, it looks like there were probably like 3 or 4 people here. Give me. They don't have a spot hidden. I forget. We figured this out last week, didn't we? What the perception roll is? Intelligence plus.
Awareness,
that's
I
right.
think?
That's right. Awareness and insight. Let me look at my definitions of those because I still don't remember which one's which. Insight and awareness.
I think insight's more trying to read people, and
That's
awareness is more looking at things.
Yep. So awareness plus wits.
I got 6 successes. Stork helped me out here.
I can't see it. What are they?
Okay, so my hunger dice has the cross with the claws, and one of my other dice has cross with stars. That is upside down. Okay, so it looks like I got a super success.
Oh.
A bestial success, even.
Oh, so you got. So is that a 10 then? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I got a critical success with my hunger dice.
Okay, all right.
Messy critical.
So, with a messy critical, you take one or more. Here's the possibilities, and then we'll figure out exactly what happened. Because this is basically to see if you find something in this place. There's like a hidden stuff, right? Obviously, you're going to find it. Lose one. Take one or more stains. Masquerade breach or lose 1 from an advantage. If none of these are applicable, it's just a mess. Now let me tell you what you found.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, you're looking around carefully. You know this is a safe house, so you know that there's going to be There's probably some kind of supplies hidden someplace. So you start kind of going around, and in one of the bedrooms, there's like loose floorboards. So you kind of pry them open, and you find probably like 3 assault rifles, and you find like some plastic explosive and some detonators and stuff like that. Oh, I got it. I think I got it. You also discover that the house is wired to explode. So maybe I don't know, maybe you grab the stuff and then go ahead and hit the trigger so the detonator, not a detonator, but like a timer so it blows up.
Yeah, I think that sounds
As you're
legit.
on your
It's
way
like
out.
a parting fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, excuse me, F you.
Okay. All right.
In keeping with the theme of breaking and entering homes here, I mean, I don't think we've left one home standing yet, right?
I mean, not if we're doing our jobs right.
They knew what they did.
All right. So you grab the guns and the C4 and set the timer, or let's say it's a little push button thing that was in there. You take it with you, and you kind of click.
Well, I feel like maybe it's a kind of tripwire situation.
Okay.
Like, the house is wired to explode if anyone goes, like, messing around too much.
Okay.
So I set up something to, like, MacGyver a little thing to, like, fall down.
Okay.
On my, like, when I'm far enough away that I won't get blown up.
Alrighty. Okay. So you get out, you get back in the car, and then, like, 3 or 4 seconds later, boom! The house goes up, and it takes out the houses on either side of it, probably killing the people in those houses. Go ahead and take a stain.
Oops.
And remember that you have a stain at the end of the session, because that's when you roll that. And the amount of stains you can take is the number of empty boxes in your humanity track. So then, so we assume that at some point you guys go and meet Floyd at the mall.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So we'll say for everyone else about an hour goes by, and then you all decide to go meet. You're all there.
Thank you all for saving my life. I really thought that would have gone better.
You thought reasoning with vampire hunter.
They didn't want to listen. I don't understand. Why would they want to die?
Well, honestly, I don't think that they thought they would. I think that these guys are well organized and very confident, and I think that they feel like they have a hand up on us.
They're fools. They're fools.
They're going to learn today, I'm telling you.
We gave them every opportunity. They just didn't want to live. I don't understand. Who doesn't want to live?
Some people believe that a cause is more important than their own life. And, you can actually legitimately see it from their point of view. They lived under the supposition that they were on top of the food chain. That no longer seems to be the case, so they're reacting like prey usually do.
Perhaps they'll reconsider next time you try to reason.
Well, I think we can safely assume that they're fanatics.
Colin, when you hit your unmute, can you hold it down just a little bit longer? You're clipping yourself at the end.
Well, after I woke up, I went to talk to my herd, and so I have some new information, perhaps another lead, about a Lucas Walton who got contacted by the Second Inquisition a couple of years ago, and perhaps we can go and talk to him and find out who his point of contact was and maybe track down where they're holed up from there.
Good work. Also, I managed to trail down who owns the server farm that runs that dating app that they're using to communicate with each other. I am going in, and I have some very good leads on buying that server farm for myself, so we'll be able to sample their data.
I wonder if we can track them through that as well. Because if we can find out, where a collection of those phones running that app might be, then we would know where their meeting place is.
Absolutely. Well, once I get it, we'll download all the metrics, and once we have that, we should be able to make an educated guess as to where their general routes are. Especially if we have access to the particulars of what they're chatting to each other, it should be easy to separate what they're talking about versus legitimate sexting, I think is what they call it now.
Oh, please never say that again.
So my question is, should we give some of this information to the sheriff, or should we just try to gather up more information to give him a more complete... In other words, should we go visit this Lucas Walton guy, or should we ask Scully what we should do?
I find it usually wise to take legitimate action first and then simply inform him afterwards. I am not encouraged as to the competence of that man.
I have updated the Seneschal with information you received from Stanley Cartwright.
But one thing that I wanted to speak to you guys about now that we're together and all awake.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We're still, Joey, we're still having the same problem. It cut off like the last half of your sentence.
Okay. Yeah. So I updated the Seneschal with our current information that we got from Stanley Cartwright, and the fact that their base of operations may be based in the basement of some skyscrapers in downtown. So hopefully they are starting to do some kind of reconnaissance and ready some kind of forward movement against them at that point.
And I'll let y'all know what I found at the safe house. And I'm going to figure that he managed to take out all, if not most, of the people who were stationed there. But obviously other people went and cleaned it up before the authorities got there.
Also, I think that we may be missing something. If you guys remember, I actually got some notes that needed to be delivered to some people that had some information. And although we reviewed those notes, I don't think that we've actually thought about courses of action regarding them. So we know that B, whoever that is, they've ghouled most of the cops in the area and the command watch sergeants. We're blind there, so we don't. And they're expecting reinforcements. I'm assuming this is about the Anarchs from Central Valley in a week, which means now maybe 20 or so, mostly G's and B's. So I'm going to say Brujas and Gangrel, talking about making a Rose Bowl push flanking Glendale. So, although this Second Inquisition thing, of course, has been topmost in our thinking, we managed to really kind of forget that we're currently at war with the Anarchs and we're in a border section. And some of the warnings that we've gotten would lead us to believe that we might be fighting a war on two fronts.
This is the first time you've shared that information with us.
No, you've held these notes in your hands.
There was another note about somebody possibly working with the Inquisition, but that note I've not heard before.
I've not heard it either. I seem to remember that you were like, well, hold on to that one, but I think you only passed out the one note.
Oh, okay, because, well, we can retcon that because my intent was completely share all of these, which explains why we haven't been talking about them more. So that's my bad. I apologize about that. But I don't know who B is, but the other note, and I'm assuming that it's B. It just simply says she's definitely working for them. And I'm not exactly sure who that is, but that's the note.
From my recollection, a Sally Smith, who was a childer of the former prince, was a Ventru. And from what I can ascertain, she's my prime suspect as to who she might be, who is the she who's working for them. I don't know if we have a way of getting in contact with her, but she probably went off to the run of with the Anarchs. So perhaps we kill two birds with one stone and stop these Anarchs from annexing the Rose Bowl and maybe get some more information on the whereabouts of Miss Smith.
Can you read me that part about Miss B again?
Sure. Let me just read the note completely as is, so you guys have everything you need. It starts with M, comma. I'm assuming M means Miroslav, since this was directed towards him. B has G'd most of the cops, at least commanders and watch sergeants, were blind now. Next paragraph. B is expecting reinforcements from Central Valley in a week, maybe 20 or so, mostly G's and B's. Talking about making a Rose Bowl push flanking Glendale. More later, BH. BH being big head.
Would it not stand to reason that the B would mean Bruja?
That makes the most sense.
Yeah, I know a female Bruja who starts with B. And she's a nasty piece of work.
Is your sire here?
I don't know. I could see. I'm really not sure if we want to poke that badger, but yeah, it sounds like Bodil might be in town.
Well, it's better knowing than not knowing. Even if we do shake something up.
Yeah, she was. Last I heard, she went to Europe, but that's where the Anarchs are, so it's quite possible she's hooked up with them. She's a Bruja, and she does like anarchy, and I don't know if seems like a big power play for her, but she does run an international human trafficking organization. It may just be business as usual for her.
Well, Port of LA is an important resource for a business like that, so I could see why why she would want to have some interest in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, she might just be here just to mess things up. Hey, Stu, game pointed question. How does one know if one's sire is in the area? Is there
I don't think there's any real way for you to know. Like a vampire sense? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's not like a spidey sense?
No, I don't think so. Also, just so you guys know, the head of Anarch domain is called a baron.
Oh, well, never mind then.
I just thought you might, because you would know that. All of you would know that.
So my vote is still to try to stop them from seizing the Rose Bowl. Perhaps we can get some of the other coteries in the nearby area to join with us. Push them back, because the last thing we need them is closer to our border. And maybe it'll draw out this Sally Smith and anybody else who may be working with the Anarchs in opposition to us.
If we can find Sally Smith and somehow disrupt her communication with the Inquisition, find out when they're making their push, we can actually put both of our enemies against each other at the Rose Bowl.
I'm in favor of using the Inquisition against the Anarchs, but it's a dangerous thing to start manipulating one side against the other, because it's going to embolden them, and it's a double-edged sword. They're truly a double-edged sword. I have a feeling that perhaps we might need more than just the four of us to do this.
That's what got us into this position in the first place. The Ventru trying to use the Second Inquisition against the Sabbat. And now look where we are. I don't know if we want to necessarily do a smaller version of that in Los Angeles and have the same thing happen again.
Because if it fails and we just do this rogue on our own, who's going to take the hit for it?
Well, it's a slightly different situation in that the Second Inquisition has already been given vital information, and there's no information that we'd be providing other than the location of an attack by vampires. So we're not playing a lot of our cards out of our hand there. The only question is can we maintain anonymity throughout that? If we cannot, then I would suggest we do not do so. If we can retain a certain amount of anonymity, I don't see a downside.
And protect Miroslav and the Glittering Knight while we're at it.
I'm just saying, I don't want 20 angry Anarchs knocking at my back door.
We can't take on 20 angry Anarchs, I don't think.
At least not on our own. But at least we also know that the higher-ups know the same information we do, and hopefully Miroslav, being Miroslav, is preparing for it as we speak. I mean,
Considering their
Glittering
base,
Knight is not defenseless.
considering their base is supposed to be in downtown, it makes most sense for Miroslav to take that point of action first, since it's closest to his known door.
Is there a date when this is supposed to be happening?
We got this a week ago, actually 2 weeks ago, and they say in about a week they're gathering those numbers. So I'm thinking that if they're planning on doing something, it's going to be fairly soon.
I wonder if we can check the schedule to see if there's anybody who's rented the Rose Bowl today or anything. Unless they're just, I mean, they can't just wander around the Rose Bowl and not be noticed, right?
Well, the Rose Bowl in and of itself, when it's not active, has minor security. And there's not a lot on premises. And if they actually manage to get in the cameras and to the however many security guards they have, and I doubt that that's more than 6 or 7, then they could easily secure the location for whatever they want.
The only thing they'd have to worry about is any other events that might have booked the space. So.
And if they have control of a police dispatch or anybody in that situation, as the note indicates, they would be able to avoid any unwanted patrols at the time. And the Rose Bowl is relatively isolated for area around, so as long as they were quiet about it, nobody would even know.
Yeah, this makes me very uneasy. Besides being just on the doorstep of our territory, it's even more on the doorstep of this new safe house that we have set up.
I say we reach out to the coteries. I know Pasadena's moot, but perhaps there are other coteries nearby that we can join forces with, at least for now, to push them back out of the Rose Bowl.
Alhambra?
Who's left in that area? Pasadena was taken out, right? And was the closest coterie. What else do we have? Oh, do we have anybody in the Eagle Rock area?
It's like us and maybe Monrovia. I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like we need to talk to the sheriff and see if he can't mobilize some animal spies or something and find out what's going on.
Well, you also have to take into account that me having this information is, would implicate me in doing something that perhaps the prince would not want me to do. So the fact that we have this info from this notes should be kept relatively close to our chest.
Well, can you mobilize the parents?
Already done.
In which case, if we attempt to bring any further people in to assist us, then we just say that you got the information from.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to go under the assumption that since Miroslav received this note, that he would mobilize whatever forces he wanted to mobilize towards that. Maybe we should ask the seneschal if there's any information about things going on in our area, and hopefully he'll be forthright with us.
It seems odd that if he's mobilizing troops to prevent the taking of the Rose Bowl, that he wouldn't tap us, since we are so close.
We're not exactly soldiers. I believe that, well, if I were prince, I would actually think that we are a very dangerous resource that needs to be used well within what our strengths lie. None of us are particularly equipped to deal with militarized Bruja and Gangrel.
Agreed.
We should at least send the parrots and scout, because I think that even though we may not be able to do anything, the 5 of us, we should at least know what's going on. If nothing else, so we can prepare to move quickly.
Well, I have them basically hanging around the Rose Bowl area.
Okay. What do they do?
They're actually fairly intelligent, but what they generally do is I tell them, hang out in this area. If you see anything really loud, really shiny, or a large groups of people milling about that aren't usually there, since they're actually familiar with the neighborhood, to report back.
Okay. All right.
So basically, if a huge fight starts out at the Rose Bowl, they'll know and they'll tell me.
Got it. 2 points. First off, the next closest, besides you guys, coterie to the sort of that northwest Pasadena area would be the Alhambra San Marino coterie. So you could contact them. Carolina.
The only thing they're good for is blocking a freeway.
That's a very Southern California inside joke.
A-holes.
You guys probably know at least 1 or 2 names from that if you wanted to contact them. Secondly, your parrots will tell you that they are seeing people who seem to be coming into the Rose Bowl area, and they're kind of hanging out and hiding.
Very good. I am actually, with that information, I am going to call the sheriff and tell him that.
Okay. All right. Ring, 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 ring. Yes.
Sheriff, I have some information for you. I don't know if I really want to talk about it over the phone, but I wanted to see if you were free to speak.
Yes. Yes. Where would you like to meet? Do you want to come here, or do you want me to go to you?
You know what? I'll come to you. I'll be there in about 30, 45 minutes.
Alrighty. See you then.
What did Sam and what you guys call it? Was it Nosferatu?
Oh yeah, Nosferatu.
Yeah. Okay. Anything anyone else wants to do before Jim goes and meets with Scully Wallace?
One thing I did realize that, and I meant to ask you earlier, was did the trail of the Bloodstone die at the safe house?
No, it
or
did not.
Did it go anywhere else?
How long does it last?
Let me double check, but I want to say it lasts like a week.
Okay, we'll say this one was a good one and lasted 2 since we fast forwarded a week. Actually, no, I could just retcon what happened. What is it? How does it inform you where it is?
GPS, it's GBS, Global Bloodstone.
Oh,
Pooja can't hear you.
It is a... Sorry, I was reading to myself. I can sense the direction and distance of it.
Okay.
And that lasts... And yeah, I was right. It lasts a week.
It lasts a week. Okay. So, he was moving... Now, you guys didn't tell him where you are stationed, right? You didn't tell him where your coterie is, right? Okay.
No.
It moved... Like, let's say, I don't know what day of the week it is. Let's say 6 days ago is when that event happened at that safe house, that the news reports, and it kept moving for another 6 days, and it looks like he was headed south for a while, like he was heading into Orange County, and then he headed west, like he was going to like Sunset Beach or one of those places, kind of one of those beach cities by Long Beach. And right now, currently, he is, he's over on the Mote of Sin, the island, which replaces Catalina.
It's surprising that he survived.
Just not surprising at all. He was after more of my blood. Very big motivator.
In game, Stu, do we know what happened to the Mote of Sin? Is it just a big vampire compound now? Because I know Miroslav invaded it, right?
Miroslav invaded it and basically, right. Well, currently the Katerina von Leitheisner is the prince of the
Mote of Sin?
Yes.
The Mote of Sin.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Yes. Yeah, she right well, Prince, Lord, one of the two. So still under Miroslav, but she seems to have a lot of independence.
If he's
Do you think that it's possible that your ghoul was picked up by another kindred?
I was going to say the same.
if possible, I want him back.
Well, if he was instructed to not tell anyone about you, he could be being tortured right now.
The fact that he survived means that he has more to offer us. I suppose a trip may be in order, but I'd hate to leave before this attack on the Rose Bowl occurs.
It's entirely possible he's part of an invasion team to the moat as well.
That seems much more unlikely, considering he would have just perpetrated a massacre at the safe house.
True, and he did say that his fellow Inquisitioners would simply kill him on sight. So, since he's still alive and on the move, seems like he did a good job.
Or they were already dead when he got there.
Or they never caught him or implicated him.
Or he's dead and somebody took the stone.
That's possible as well, but once again, who would take it without destroying it of that set?
Well, if they knew what it was, it would be a real good way to lure us in one direction or another if they thought that we set it up.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks like what it started as, which is one of those baubles that you pick up from, you fill a jar with them and then, instead of water.
They also make really good tokens for Magic the Gathering.
I have no idea, I only know real magic.
Oh, the fake stuff's fun too. I'll show you later.
No, thank you.
There is no express to the Mote of Sin, right? It's going to take us like 4 hours by boat to get over there.
No, it's not that far. It's like, you probably got probably a 45-minute, at night, a 45-minute drive, and then the boat ride over is probably a half hour.
All right, let's stay on task. So we've got vampires gathering at the Rose Bowl, and then we have a possible thing over at the moat. Maybe could we send parrots over to the moat, perhaps? I know, as the parrot flies, it's not that far to check it out, or a parrot or two.
That's not really usually their area.
I see those bloody parrots all over LA.
Yeah, but I'd have to figure out how to communicate to them how to get to that island, and I'm not really sure I know how to do that. It's not super easy. You can show them stuff and they understand, but they're not going to understand. Just go west about 3.5 miles until you find an island.
The ghoul is drawn to me. He's addicted to my bite. I think that our best chance of finding him is to send me to the moat and have him basically come to me.
If this is a trap, walking it alone doesn't seem like the best thing to do.
True. Lakshmi, how accurate is your locating? Are you able to locate the bloodstone?
I know exactly how far it is from me and what direction, and based on that, he is at the moat.
I just rules point of clarification. Is that effect over since it's been a week, or is it still functioning?
Well, the last location she got, which would have been right before it expired, was he was on the Mote of Sin. So, and that's at this point probably day-old information. So it's reasonably current. Also, Samantha, can you try disconnecting and reconnecting again, because your audio is getting icky again.
And,
Yep.
Thank you.
And Colin, if he's drawn to you, there's no reason you can't just call him from anywhere you are. He can take a boat back over and meet you, yeah?
I don't know that we exchanged contact information. I was expecting to survive that encounter. I'm glad he did. But if he were to come back with me, he could be the point of contact to give the information to the Second Inquisition about the attack on the Rose Bowl.
Yes, and I'm just saying that if he's drawn to you, can't you just put out the siren call and he will show up here in LA, finding his own way over to you? He can't resist coming to you. He will come to you no matter where you are.
Let me, out of character, look up that power real quick and see how much that actually works.
Yeah, do me a favor. Yeah. Should we go ahead and have your meeting with Scully? Because that's about now, Jim. It's not work. Push is not working.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, all right. So you go back to his lair, or his office, actually, not his lair, but his office, and he still has the same map on the wall with all the little pins in various places, but it looks like all of the yarn has changed locations, or because it's a different pattern than it was before.
Can I surreptitiously take a picture of that with my cell phone without him noticing?
Yes, that's not a problem.
I will do so.
Okay. So what can I do for you? Your mute's not unmuting.
There we go. For some reason. All right. Some of my animal agents have reported some suspicious activity around the Rose Bowl, and I wanted to inform you of that.
Oh, yes. We're expecting that there's going to be some poachers, probably from Pornvale, coming through there and over the next week or so. And yeah, we put some people in place to kind of monitor that situation. I haven't heard back from them yet, though. I don't know if they've detected them yet.
Well, I'll let you know that I've detected them.
Well, I'll get a hold of them as soon as I can, and make sure that it happens. When's the last time you saw Anna Tremont?
Non-player character. Who's Anna Tremont?
Anna Tremont is the hound, the deputy to the sheriff.
Yeah.
Brewhawk.
No, I haven't seen her since that time I went to go see Big Head.
Well, didn't we hand off the journal to her?
Yeah, but that was that I dropped that off and then I went to go see Big Head. And
I had the order mixed up. My bad.
Yeah. I handed her off a journal that I recovered.
Right.
That was the last time I saw her. So about a week and a half ago, I'm going to say.
She's been disappearing for long periods of time, kind of frequently, and not really keeping up on her job. I'm thinking about I may have to talk to her about it.
Well, certainly if she does contact me or if I see her, I'll let you know. Is there anything you wanted me to speak to her about? I figure this is your biz.
Oh, I'm just kind of curious where she's going. Because when I first brought her in as, my assistant, she was doing a good job. But lately she seemed to be slacking off.
Okay.
But if you see her, tell her I want to talk to her because she's not answering my texts.
I'm going to look him in the eye and I go, look, I want you to know I'm a friendly resource. So if you think that I could help you, and especially in your function for Miroslav, please let me know, and I will do whatever I can.
Well, yeah, if you can find her and see what the heck she's doing, that would appreciate that.
Well, we'll do. I'll see what I can do, and I'll be in touch.
All right.
But just as a side note, and I would consider this a personal favor, if you have soldiers doing stuff in my backyard, I'd really appreciate a heads up because sometimes things get messy and we don't want that. and we don't want to waste resources.
Well, I can't say that I have soldiers anywhere in your backyard, but Miroslav might, because he kind of has his own sort of.
I'm just saying, if you hear some stuff on the sly, if you could just let me know, just a friendly heads up that there's some stuff going on, because last thing I want to do is step on Miroslav's toes or mess up one of his operations just because I'm ignorant. But I will send him a message as well and let him know that I'm here to help, and the more I know, the better.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
That's that.
Yes. You're not muted. You're unmuted. Not unmuted. You still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. No.
There we go. I found the thing on Lingering Kiss. Mortals fed upon by the user become addicted to the kiss, obsessing over it, and even seeking the vampire out for repeated feedings. Mortals often become anemic, self-harm, or even die from this addiction. The vampires find a useful power to cultivate a herd.
Okay. All right. But there's no supernatural way that they will find you. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you go, you head back to the new safe house. What are we going to call that place? We need a name for it. Anyone have an idea? Was it did you guys settle on an abandoned mall? What was it that you decided to?
Yeah, it was an abandoned mall.
Okay.
Are we talking old 80s mall? Or are we talking
It's an old 80s mall. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the old Eagle Rock Plaza.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Right, it probably is. That's probably what you're thinking of, is the Eagle Rock Plaza, which is right there, Eagle Rock Boulevard, and York, I think.
But
Maybe.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. That area. We can just call it the mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go to the mall? Yeah, let's go to the mall.
Okay. So you head back. On your way back there, you get a call from Scully.
Hey, Scully.
Well, it turns out that Miroslav has some forces over by the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
So they're it might get messy there.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll make sure that I respond accordingly. My coterie is not particularly a combat effective coterie, but there are other things we could bring to the table.
Excellent. Well, I just wanted to let you know in case you guys decided to head over there.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Hey, speak for yourself. I can set people's blood on fire.
Right? We did a pretty good job last time. Thank you very much.
Hey, we can kill 20 people, not a problem. I don't want everybody knowing that we can.
Don't bother wearing bulletproof vests. They don't do shit.
Anybody who's been in real combat will tell you that exact same thing.
Also, don't try to reason with your enemy.
No.
Don't walk up fully in the open to the lunatics. Yeah.
Don't whiz on the electric
if I made my
fence.
awe roll.
Was it a crucial role? Then yeah, you're gonna miss it. You're Stork. That's
Of course, right?
You have your own mythology, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So, what are you guys gonna do? Where are you gonna go? Because Colin was talking about going to Mote of Sin. Is that happening?
We might want to wait on that, I think, because if there's an actual battle happening at the Rose Bowl tonight, there's a rumble going down, we might need to be at least watching our borders, if not somewhere in the area, to make sure that any stragglers or anything doesn't affect us, because I could easily see that spilling over into Pasadena and then us.
So do you think we should take up the bastion that was left vacant by the Pasadena coterie?
We've already started. I think we already started, or I already started patrolling Pasadena because it's an empty spot. We can't be faulted, I think, for walking the no man's land between our zone and the Antarcts, or the Anarchs, because that's kind of, we're right here.
Wait, I thought that the Anarchs were in, Burbank Valley, the North Valley.
Right, but then the Pasadena coterie got wiped out, so now there's nobody guarding Pasadena. So basically, Pasadena is a no man's land, and we're the next front line, yeah, between.
Oh,
LA.
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant. Never mind.
Yeah, the Anarchs control the entire San Fernando Valley, pretty much. And there's a back way along the 210 freeway to get from probably Sunland to Pasadena.
Yep.
So basically, Pasadena is just one big open ground until we can secure it as our own. It's up for grabs, and it sounds like they're making a play for it right now. And if they win, that puts the Anarchs right at our doorstep.
As much as I hate to admit it, he makes a good point. I mean, best case scenario, we are able to defend Pasadena and annex it to part of our territory, which makes us more powerful. Worst case scenario, they come in and take Pasadena and they're on our doorstep. I think we may have to go and protect Pasadena.
Right. I wonder in what capacity. My initial thought is to perhaps watch the battle unfold and then pick off any stragglers, anybody that runs or anybody that's been wounded, or because I'm not sure if we join in with Miroslav if we're not going to just be targeted as well.
And therein lies my concern. Without his approval and say-so, attempting to encroach upon his battle that he didn't see fit to warn us about is as likely to get us killed as anything else.
But I think us standing sentry at the border of Pasadena and picking off the stragglers as they come into Pasadena would make us look very good. We're protecting this land that has no one to protect it. It just means it should be ours.
Agreed.
Agreed. It's proactive, but it doesn't interfere with his current plans or involve us on the front lines of this battle. So I think it's a wise choice.
Nobody can fault us for guarding our territory. It's a matter of trying to see the whole battle at the same time and be in the right place to pick off any stragglers, if there are even stragglers. If nothing else, we need to know how this battle unfolds so we know what to do. If Miroslav's army gets wiped out and the Gangrel and Bruja are weakened, then perhaps we can attack. If Miroslav's army wins, no problem.
I am going to miss Stanley Cartwright. He wasn't unattractive. But there's always the opportunity to ghoul more Second Inquisition. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of them. I would.
He might still live, and I don't think we've seen the last of them from the Mote.
You can get him tomorrow.
That's my hope. But if I have to sacrifice this pawn to seize this entire board, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Is there any reason we couldn't just send a courier over to the Mote with a burner phone to look for him?
I suppose not. I actually kind of enjoy that idea. A little chase to entice him.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to send a courier with the burner phone. The only number in it is mine. To search out the Stanley Cartwright on the Mote of Sin and see if I can get any kind of contact with him to bring him back to me. If not, no skin off my nose. But if so, that's a big boon in our cash.
Okay.
May I suggest that the number in it is another burner phone that you will have?
Oh, naturally. I don't give anybody my actual phone number. None of you actually have my phone number.
None of us have actual phone numbers.
Jim, just to catch you up, we're planning on watching how the battle unfolds at the Rose Bowl, and either jump in at the end to help wipe out stragglers, or just if Miroslav wins, then no problem. The other thing is we do want to maybe establish the fact that we are also watching out for Pasadena, because it is in hopes of annexing it, but it's also in our backyard, and it would be dumb not to, right?
Absolutely, I agree with that totally.
We need some way to watch the battle unfold and at least have up-to-date information so we know what's going on.
I'll just go on Amazon and I'll buy some drones.
Okay.
We also, one other point of contention, I think the missive that you read to us says the police are controlled, so we may have them to deal with as well.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the common constabulary.
Okay. So, are you guys gonna? When are you gonna head over to the Pasadena area?
Well, I don't know. Probably now, because it's, nights a wasting, right?
Yeah, did Scully's information sound like the battle was soon?
Yeah. He said it should be any night now that should happen, according to their information and, of course, ours.
Perhaps you could have one of the parrots come and tell you when something is going down, and then we can know how to get there. It won't take us long to get there.
They're in the area right now, and they're under strict instructions to let me know if anything weird happens.
I mean, we're a scant 10, 15 minutes away from there, so we might as well... Honestly, if it's not happening tonight, and I would have thought it already would have started if it was, we might as well go to the moat and track down Cullen's little pretty.
Tell you the truth, I am not really excited about fighting.
You should have been there in our last fight.
Then we would have had 2 of us in torpor. I'm just saying, I can punch a wall real hard, but I'm not very good at it.
Well, a Kindred shield is as good as anything else, I suppose.
Look, I'm willing to do what it takes to ensure our mutual survival and to have this coterie flourish. And I'm not saying I'm beyond a fight to do it, but I'm going to be careful about where I spend that asset and when I don't.
Would you feel more comfortable if we spent this night preparing for the battle, giving you some kind of advantage instead of rushing in hot-headed and unprepared?
Preparation is always good. What assets do we have to bear?
Well, I do have all of these brand new weapons and their incendiary rounds. Also, a handy-dandy cache of explosives.
Oh, see, that's very useful.
And this Holocaust cloak.
My thoughts went exactly the same direction. But what I'm thinking, if we do have explosives, maybe we could acquire some vehicles, put them in the parking lot, fill them with those explosives, use that as sort of a fallback, and when they're chasing after us, blow the explosives and hopefully stop the pursuers.
You mean like this stolen SUV that I have?
Just like that one, yeah.
How convenient.
I'm also wondering, we're dealing with gangrel and bruja, so that's a lot of fangs and claws and animals and bats and wolves, and then weaponry as well. They're going to be, the bruja will be armed, and the gangrel will be animals.
Gangrel and their obsession with the dogs.
So what do? Leave a lot of chocolate out?
Well, not chocolate per se, but I mean, I'm thinking there's going to be a significant amount of rats. There's going to be a significant perhaps wolves and maybe bats or ravens. So yeah, maybe some sort of rat poison. It's be that simple, even something contact wise.
Most rat poisons have to be ingested. I mean, out of character, I don't know of any poisons that are contact poisons. I only know of the ones that, like, you have to get them to eat it.
Yeah, I think arsenic Yeah, you're right. Anything contact-wise takes a while. Anything that you can buy legally would take a long time.
No, there are options here. There are high-frequency emitters that will disorient, if not repel, a lot of the animals that we're talking about.
That's true. If we have, assuming that most of, or at least a portion of them, would go in for animals that have much greater hearing, then the noise emitters would be debilitating.
I mean,
that makes the most sense to me, really.
I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, we're probably going to be dealing with a small army of animals as well as vampires in animal forms.
It should do a fairly good job on the mundane ghoul animals.
Out of character, isn't there like in animalism? Can't you just summon an army of rats or something? Isn't there like a power of that?
Not that I have. I can ghoul and control a whole bunch of different animals.
Right. Okay.
And that's the main ability I have, and the fact that I can speak with them fairly fluently within their own, limitations.
I mean, it's out of character. I mean, I guess my character wouldn't particularly know the power set of all the vampires anyway.
I mean,
there is something like that, Stork, but it's a level 5 animalism check.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We don't know how many there are and what levels they are. I mean, we can assume the leader is going to be more than one or two, and I'm assuming there's going to be a couple of leaders. I don't know. We should probably prepare for a small, very powerful army of very angry vampires. I don't know how.
Hey, Stu, do we have any idea of what the basic potency of the Anarch? Do they have a lot of thin bloods? Are they dealing with a lot of, relatively, at least on our level, powerful vampires? What assets do they have?
Well, you don't know specifics, but generally speaking, there are a lot of thin bloods. There are a few vampires that were more powerful and older in that area who, when the Baron came and took over, pledged allegiance to him. So he does have at least a handful of kindred who are way more powerful than you guys. Probably not 50 of them, but he might have 4 or 5.
One high-level gangrel could tear us all apart. I'm pretty sure.
You also know that what was her name? Sally Smith. Is that right, Colin?
That's correct.
She is very low generation, probably pretty high blood potency, because she was one of the kindred that was created by Sebastian during the last campaign, and he had gone to great extents to get his generation as low as possible. He was probably like 5th or 6th generation or something like that. So, and then he turned a bunch of people into vampires to basically kind of build himself an army of powerful kindred. She was one of those people, and one of the few remaining that wasn't hunted down and killed.
Okay, I just wanted to have a general idea of what they had to bring to bear, because usually when you're going for an all-out attack, you have a lot of cannon fodder up front, and then some people do the real wet work.
Right.
And maybe that's what the police will be for.
Yeah, well, the Anarchs don't care about the Masquerade, so that's definitely a possibility.
Again, our role is more cleanup.
Also, as a afterthought, not that I've brought it up, another concern of ours is to be alert to the maintenance of the Masquerade. And one of the secondary objectives, if we do become involved in this, is to assure that and try to shore up any breaches.
All the more reason to stay on the sidelines and watch out for that and for stragglers.
That's a very good point. And if this goes sideways for Miroslav and we mop it up, that's definitely worth a boon, isn't it?
Very good thinking, yeah.
Maybe closer to that sheriff position than you think.
I like figureheads and working in the background personally.
I just want to be left alone. So if we have something over him and he leaves us alone, that's better.
Well, I like coming up with great ideas and trying to do the best I can. But if things go south, I like somebody to take the fall for me. And Scully seems pretty good at something like that. So.
All right. So our plan now is to just watch. We're going to gather our resources. I think anybody that can use a rifle with incendiary should probably at least have it handy. The rest of you, I would also just, if you can use a gun, use it, because wear them down before they get to us. And having been hit with this incendiary, it does a thorough job of taking down a vampire, even a gangrel.
Okay, well, I have a firearms of 1 and a melee swords of 2. So I don't know if anybody else has better firearms wants to take an incendiary round instead of me, but I have that to offer.
I do also have firearms 1.
So you guys are all good at rifles. That's good. And I'm better than that. So
Yeah, my only real combat skill is brawl because my potence and stuff. So
that's fine. If you don't know how to use a rifle, I'm just saying if we have enough rifles with incendiary devices to go around to those of us that can use them, we should at least have them. And then I feel that will give us the best chance to take down a raging gangrel or a really bitter bruja.
That
Well-
sounds like a good plan for those of you who know more than which way is the way to avoid being pointed at.
Shoot him with the pointy end.
Or I could set their blood on fire.
Or both. Bear in mind that you can only do so many incendiary rounds before the rifle is useless.
there'll be plenty laying on the ground.
I'm going to assume you guys probably have 4 or 5 rifles from the Pomona safe house. Probably each with a magazine, 30-round magazine of incendiary, and probably 2 more. So you probably have a total of probably 12 magazines.
So since it sounds like, I'm sorry, Stark's your character's name is Floyd.
Floyd.
Yes, since Floyd has the best or the most experience with firearms, perhaps we should give him most of the rounds. Perhaps me and Anna Sophia take 1 each, and the others do the best they can.
I feel like if what you're saying, and what you're saying does seem to be true with the wear on the weapons, from what I have learned, that just take the extra guns.
I can only carry so many. I mean, having 1 rifle is enough for me. I mean, having another 1 or 2 handy, maybe in the car or whatever, might be fine too, but that way we can all get to them. But I'm not going to walk around with 5 rifles slapped to my back. I can only use 1 at a time anyway. And by the time that rifle, I think, melts down, it's going to be hand to hand.
I mean, you do what they do in the movies. I mean, it's you have 1 in your hand and 1 strapped to your back. It'll be very daring.
Well, setting up a couple of little caches of equipment hidden around the outskirts may not be a bad idea.
I don't want to go anywhere near there until it's time to. I don't want to tip our hand, and I don't want to accidentally get stumbled onto.
Well,
By
we're not trying to get involved in the main battle. We're trying to maintain Pasadena. So long as our caches are still within the realm of Pasadena, I think we're fine.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I thought you guys were talking about putting caches around the Rose Bowl so that if we had a running battle, we could pick them up. Okay, yeah, that's different.
Stu, is there any possibility of me getting any flashbang grenades or tear gas grenades?
Make a resources roll.
Okay.
Yeah, don't you know prop guys? Don't prop guys have access to actual weapons, Pooja?
Armors? Yes. The answer is just yes. Also, most of the
So-
armorers have their own cache of weapons.
I'm still rolling a hunger die for this.
Yeah, of course.
I just wanted to remind you that I remembered before you brought it up.
Stu's obsession with the hunger dice mechanic is hilarious, especially considering the situations in which we have gotten a messy critical have been so benign.
Right.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you can probably get tonight, if you wanted to get them tonight, you could probably get your hands on like 4 flashbang grenades.
That's plenty fine.
I've got a pretty decent resources roll. I've got 3 dots in it, so I'll go ahead and do the same thing. So
Okay.
I'll just roll 2 and then 1 for the hunger die.
Yep.
Jim, I don't know what you're drinking, but it looks thick and viscous and red. It looks like you're actually drinking blood.
That's why I picked that drink.
Very nice. I got Bunkus.
Ah, okay. What's your hunger die come out at?
That was a 2.
Oh well. Okay. Close. I don't know what would happen if you frenzy because you failed your resources roll. Would you go on a shopping spree?
Only a Toreador would frenzy after failing a resources roll.
That's a legitimate point.
What do you mean I can't have that? Do you know who I am? All right.
I could see the Ventrue doing it. The Ventrue would definitely do it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I can see a Tory doing table flips because they can't get what they want. Totally can.
I'll do a table flip if I do get what I want, just to make a point.
So are you guys going to go like hide, set up caches in Pasadena?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
How secure do you want to make them? Do you want to put them in like flood control? You know those. You know what I'm talking about when you go. The water runs along the gutter and it goes in that thing on the side. You know what I'm talking about? What are those called?
Gutters?
No,
Sewage?
not the gutter, but when the water runs along the gutter and then it goes into this little thing.
Yeah, those rain basins, right?
Yeah, that might be what they're called. Something
They're like catch
that.
basins, and they go in there, and there's usually a manhole above them that you can get down to, a little ladder, and it's a catch basin.
Right. Is that kind of what you're looking at, or where do you want to put them?
What day is it?
Well, let me check. Dahlia, stop.
Yeah, I hear dogs. The gangrels are attacking. I mean,
It's the 19th. If it's the 19th, it's Sunday. So it's Sunday night.
I have the 17th as our current date.
Oh, is it the 17th? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong date. So Friday. It's Friday night.
Perfect. Golden State overnight bins.
Hmm?
They don't check them on the weekends. They're basically these mailboxes for Golden State overnight, and they're all over the place.
Okay.
It's a courier service. You can easily pop the lock and hide something in there.
Okay. All right.
Jim, you're a dangerous man. I don't even want to know how you know that.
That's actually from working office services for several years.
That's your story and you're sticking to it. Good idea.
So who's setting up? Are you guys all going to set up the caches, or are you just sending a couple people, or how is this going about?
Let's just say that we set like 3 or 4 caches around the area.
Okay.
And then
like each of you.
Yeah, let's draw a map. I'm going to say Jim draws a map because he knows where these are, and then we each have a map, and maybe each of us goes and drops one off.
Okay.
I mean, night is short too. We don't have all this time, and we might as well get it all done at once, right? Rather than all of us traipsing from place to place to place.
Okay. While Colin, I'm going to say so 4 of you went, or all of you went.
I assume probably all of us.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you say there was 4 catches, 5 catches? So 1 person catch, perhaps.
yeah, I think 1 person per cache,
Okay.
and strategically placed so they're in basically radiating areas from the outside. So there's a close one, a second closest one, so on and so forth.
Exactly. You made a map, and each one of us was assigned an area, and then we're all going to meet back at the mall.
Okay. So when Colin, when you're setting up one of the caches, you see Anna Tremont, the Bruja hound of Sheriff Scully, and she approaches you, and she is dressed in like. It looks like she's dressed in something that's not supposed to look like tactical gear, but looks like tactical gear, at least to your eye. But it's all very dark, not quite black. A lot of pockets, that kind of thing.
Just like web gear, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. And she walks up to me and says, "What are you doing over here?"
I'm just preparing for the inevitable.
Oh, it's gonna get dangerous.
Yes, that's usually what preparing for the inevitable looks like. We are just really keeping an eye on this empty, vacant vacuum of authority that the Second Inquisition left in their wake. What are you doing out here? I assume you're doing the same?
Well, yeah, this is part of my patrol area now because of that power vacuum. But I think Miroslav's got his new toy out there, so it's going to get ugly here in a little bit.
New toy? That sounds intriguing. What can you tell me about it?
I don't know a whole lot about it, but they're from Eastern Europe, and there's about 30 of them, and he hired them. They're some kind of mercenaries, I think, or like maybe Russian or East European special ops. I'm not sure, but they've only shown up in the last week. They've been trickling in a couple at a time, and they're armed to the teeth. And
Kindred, armed to the teeth, or is this a
no? No, they're mortal, and not one of them speaks English.
Are you telling me that Miroslav's new toy is a direct answer and replication to the Second Inquisition?
Maybe. He's being real quiet about it. He's not mentioned anything. It's just that I've seen people going in and out of his domain. People have been asked to pick people up from the airport and not talk to them. Things like that. But this has been happening over about the last week.
It's so intriguing and so interesting. I'd love to talk with one of them just to pick their brain about what's going on across the world. Do you think there's a chance of any of that happening anytime soon, or do they have plans?
Oh, they're out. They're all out there right now. She's kind of pointing in the direction of the Rose Bowl and like the 210 freeway area. And she says they're all out there right now. How's your Russian? I think it's Russian. I'm not sure what they speak.
My Russian's pretty rotten.
Where's Miroslav from? Is he Croatian? I don't remember. Because he can talk to him. So maybe he's Croatian. I don't know if he speaks Russian. It sounds like Russian, but I don't know if it is.
Very interesting. But good to know. I feel much safer knowing that Miroslav's men are out there protecting us while our entire world seems to be flipped upside down. Perhaps you could let me know if any of them cross into our territory. Again, I'd love to try to get a one-on-one, just to maybe give them the ins and outs of our territory and help them better protect us.
Okay. Yeah, if an opportunity like that comes up, I'll call you. I don't know if it will, though, because Miroslav's been keeping these guys kind of close to the vest.
Has he given any reason as to why, or is he just very protective about his new toys?
He is Nosferatu. They love secrets.
Well, thank you for the information. I'm glad that our streets are being kept safe by our prince. Long may he reign. And if I can help you with anything else, I'd be glad to.
Nope, I'm just supposed to just kind of check the area and make sure that no anarchs take up residence.
Then we're on the same page. That's all I want as well. Down with the Anarchs, up with our prince, and death to the Second Inquisition.
Yep.
Well, you have a great night.
You too? And she kind of wanders off.
Great. So once we're all together, I'm going to relay as much of that information to the coterie as possible.
Okay.
So apparently Miroslav has some kind of plan he's keeping close to the vest, and these mercenaries are somehow involved.
Oh, that's really interesting. Well, by the way, during this time, I'm actually texting Scully.
Okay.
That's very curious. I would be interested to get my hands on one of these mercs as well and see if I can gain any visions of what might happen.
I just wonder if things have gotten so dire that he is actually relying on the help of the Kine to fight our own kindred enemies.
It's strange, but the element of surprise might work.
But just so you guys know, the conversation that I had with Scully, she's been acting somewhat strange and falling out of contact, and apparently been doing things that she hasn't been reporting. So take what she says with a grain of salt as well.
Do you think she might be after Sully's job? Do you think maybe she's working in opposition to Sully to further her own position?
She's a vampire. I'm going to go with an absolute yes.
Maybe she's just trying to do an end run around the bureaucracy so she can actually protect, because it sounds like there's a lot of games going on and she's not part of it, and yet she can't do her job without knowing it. That sentence made no sense, but but you know what I mean.
I'm just saying that all of this information is eye-opening. We need to take into account that the source may be questionable.
And I was always led to believe that the Anarchs controlled a lot of Europe, maybe even Eastern Europe.
Well, and if she's working with the Anarchs, then she may have been feeding you misinformation, Colin.
That's completely possible. I didn't let her know exactly what our plan was, just that we were keeping an eye on Pasadena, and that we were here to hopefully stop any Anarch incursion, but any specifics I purposely left vague. But it strikes me so odd that Miroslav would hope that Kine could stand any kind of chance against the Kindred in any actual mortal combat.
The Inquisition seems to be doing fairly well.
Exactly what I was thinking. With the right gear, the Kine can honestly obliterate us.
But the Inquisition seems to be relying on the element of surprise. They haven't really encountered us in straight-up combat, and when they did, at least in our experience, we massacred them.
Have you heard about these mercenaries before now? I'm surprised.
Also, they could be an expendable first wave in an assault.
I am assuming that people in Europe have been hunting our kind for far longer than those here.
Or they could have other resources at their disposal. Let us not forget that blood sorcery is not the only, or even the true, nature of the magic.
Certainly there are a lot of options as to what these things could be. As far as we know, they could be gargoyles.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. I don't think there's anything we can do about it now. We can either see that information proves out to be true, or the information proves to be a red herring, but either way, we don't have any options. This is all just wheels within wheels. All we can do is watch it.
Actually, Colin, you could validate with your with the seneschal, since you seem to have a rapport with him, and tell him about the information that you've picked up and from whom.
You do make a good point. That may be a best course of action, just to confirm with him that this is what's actually going on, and that Anna Tremont isn't just spouting lies and misinformation for some other political.
That, and I believe that this kind of thing she would probably have been instructed to keep it under her hat, and the fact that she so casually mentioned all of this to you, to me, is somewhat suspicious.
Agreed. I think it.
Oh, you broke. We lost you again.
Can't hear you, Joey.
There we go. I don't know why. Sometimes my thing just goes straight to chat. Yeah, I will reach out to Paul Murphy and confirm with him that this is what's happening. As a concerned neighbor of the Pasadena coterie, and see if he can confirm or deny the use of these new toys in the upcoming conflict.
Sounds great.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, hello. This is Paul. Yes, just wanted to make sure I had the right number.
Yes, indeed. Yes, you've got Paul.
Good. It's Colin. In case your caller ID didn't let you know, I did give you my actual phone number, which I give to very few people. But just so you are aware, I am concerned about the absence of a strong Kindred presence in the Pasadena area. I was there patrolling out of the goodness of my heart and encountered Anna Tremont spouting information about a new force of Miroslavs. I just wanted to make sure that the Pasadena area is being taken care of. Can you confirm any of this information?
Let me put it to you this way. I can neither confirm nor deny that Miroslav may have resources that some of us are not aware of.
That is very, very useful information. I was just, as a concerned citizen, making sure that our neighbors were well taken care of. But if Miroslav has it all under control, I will rest easier knowing that the outlying areas are well maintained.
Were Miroslav to have certain resources at his disposal, I believe it might be in his nature to overestimate their value.
I understand. So while I shall rest easy, I should rest easy with one eye open.
Indeed.
Well, if there's anything I can ever do for you, I stand your obedient servant.
I very do appreciate that. Y'all should come by for a game of chess sometime.
I would love to. Perhaps in the next few days when the tension is lightened up and we can breathe a bit easier again.
Indeed. You have yourself a good night.
You as well. Well, we've gotten more or less confirmation that these forces do exist, but whether or not they're everything Miroslav says they are stands to be questioned. So I think our best course of action would be to keep the plan as is, and best case scenario, his new toys, decimate the Anarchs. Worst case scenario, we are there to save the day and raise ourselves in the eye of the Primogen Council.
So everything stands, except it sounds like you have your best and worst case scenarios confused.
It's always best to see the worst case scenario. It's always best to see the worst case scenario as an opportunity to laterally advance, if not actually advance.
Also, we need to be vigilant that in our cleanup attempts that we're not taking out the wrong targets. I'm certain whether these people are effective or not, they're Miroslav's pets, and I'm certain that he would not appreciate us eliminating them.
Well, how are we supposed to know? No one ever told us they were there.
I don't think that Miroslav would accept that as an excuse.
I like how you expect a reasonable attitude from your leaders.
If you can't
you're
tell the
so
difference,
almost human.
if you can't tell the difference between a kindred and a kine, we have more to talk about than I initially thought.
Yeah, the Russians will be the ones that are armed, and the Kindred will be the ones with fangs and fur.
But it would seem, at least from what I understand, that these forces were brought in to deal with the Anarch menace, not necessarily the Inquisitorial one.
Considering their deployment, I would agree with that. I think they're here to prevent the taking of the Rose Bowl. If they were designed to take out the Second Inquisition, they'd be posted in downtown LA, as far as I can see.
Well, with any luck, the Second Inquisition will sniff around too, and they'll all get caught in the crossfire. I don't think there's anything more we can do tonight. Should probably get ready for tomorrow. It doesn't sound like this is happening tonight.
Agreed.
Since it isn't happening tonight, if we go to the moat, I can track your boy.
It may be too late to go to the moat at this point. I'd rather not stay the night on the moat. I don't really have a place to stay there as yet.
Stu, do you think we can? Because we took, 2 hours to set everything up?
Yeah, I would say it's probably midnight or 1 o'clock. So you probably have another 4 or 5 hours before sunrise.
We could at least find out where he is. And we wouldn't all have to go.
So let's do a return on investment analysis of this. What do we tend to benefit from contacting this person at the moat?
He is a contact that has information about the Second Inquisition. He is someone we can leak information false.
Oh, you stopped. You muted again.
I hate my keyboard. He is someone who has information about the Second Inquisition. He is someone we can leak false information to about us to the Second Inquisition. He may prove useful. Again, I could always get another, but if we have one that's still viable, I'd hate to see him go to waste.
Well, he seems to be in a relatively safe location now. I'm just simply asking, what is the immediate benefit of us doing it right now?
If nothing else, finding him while he's still alive, and he's not liable to stay that way for long on the moat.
Okay.
Again, though, weighing the importance of the things that are coming, I think perhaps being well rested for the fight to come may be more in our best interest. He is drawn to me. Perhaps that's what drew him to the moat. Perhaps he'll find someone there who can direct him in my direction. In which case, I'd love to know who that person is who knows who I am. But I think our resources and our time is best spent preparing here. I'd rather live to see him another day than see him tonight and not live past that.
We're not Kine for us to be tired tonight and because of exertions tonight on the morrow. I'll go And I don't mind roughing it for a night. You don't.
Do we know anyone on the moat that would be able to at least locate this person for us?
Does anyone have any contacts or
Well, pointing
relationships?
attention, Lighthizer Tori, right?
Huh?
The person in charge, Anna, is a Tori because that was Sam's old
Her sire.
her sire, right?
Right.
And her original character was a Toreador, so that would make Joey aware of the Toreador leader of the moat.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you guys know who's in charge. Yeah.
Okay, so
I can illuminate the trail of prey, which means I would literally have like a glowing path to him. I just need to be close enough for it to like matter.
Oh, fuck yeah, then. If it's going to be that easy and you already have a tool to do it, then yeah, sure.
yeah, can I call ahead and kind of make a reservation with the lord or the prince of the moat and be like, hey, a Toreador is coming. I have some business on the moat. It may take me right up until dawn, keep a place for me to stay for the night, and that's easy. I thought I had just no contacts whatsoever on the moat. and
No,
I
just
fend
take
for
my
myself.
boat.
It's a bat boat.
It's only a 22-footer, but, you know, it's nice.
I suppose that will do.
Oh my god, you really are Bruce Wayne, aren't you? You even turn into a bat.
Hee hee.
So you're gonna use this boat? Is it?
Yeah, I'll use this boat, absolutely. If that's offered to us.
Like a big speed? Is it like a big speedboat, or is it like a? It's not a sailboat, right?
No, it's a 22-foot yacht.
Okay. All right. So you got like a 45-minute drive down to, is it moored at Long Beach or San Pedro or something like that? Probably, I'm assuming.
No, I'm docked at Newport.
Oh. Okay, that's a little farther of a drive. So it takes about probably hour and 15 minutes to get there. I'm keeping track of time. And there's his boat. What's the name of the boat?
It's called the Dulcinea, and Captain Roberts is right there waiting for you.
Great. I believe that we will embark and head over to the moat.
Okay. That probably takes about 30 minutes to get there.
Thank God you're proving the point with accurate timekeeping.
I know.
There's a place in my heart for you. It grows larger every time you can be a date.
Okay, so around 1:40. Let's see. Around 2:45 a.m., you arrive on the Mote of Sin, and that is you come to what was the name of that? Pleasure? Is it Pleasure Harbor? I think that was the name of the city. It's basically the sort of resort town, mostly hotels, tons of bars and restaurants. There's a big sort of isthmus that comes around off the island that sort of creates a protected cove, and there's an enormous like beachfront resort there. Because it's winter, there's not a ton of people here right now. It's not like packed, crowded. But
That was Sanguine Caliente.
Sanguine Caliente. That's the name of the beach resort on the isthmus. So I mean, it's not super crowded. There's plenty of mooring spots and all of that kind of stuff. So they pull into a spot and they let you out basically on the boardwalk, which kind of goes along the east side of the island. And there's restaurants and bars and bars and restaurants and bars and restaurants and maybe even like a little tchotchke place and then more bars and restaurants. Mostly bars and restaurants. If you've ever been to Catalina, there's probably a bar for every person who actually lives there.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Lakshmi, please lead the way.
I think Anna would probably go with you guys. She's not one to miss an opportunity to visit a den of iniquity.
Road trip. Let's all go.
F it, let's all go.
Okay. So you're all going?
Sure.
Yeah,
why
yeah.
not?
I think rather than having this big battle go while there's like one of us there, we should probably all be at the moat. Yeah, so that way, if it does go down, at least we're not like, hey guys.
I am now gonna try to make it a point to try to dodge every major combat as possible.
Or just split the party every time. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about splitting the party now for unknown reasons. Maybe because my character spent many sessions insane in Call of Cthulhu. I got a success on my ritual roll.
Okay. It gives you like a line that only you can see. Is that what it does?
Yes. It basically, so what happens is I take out a small ribbon
Uh-huh.
and make an incision. Like, I have like the weird jeweler's nail, so my pinky nail is much, much longer than the rest of my nails. And I make a small cut on the inside of my palm and I coat the ribbon in blood and then set it ablaze. And as soon as that finishes burning, I see a glowing path that leads me to my target.
Okay. And what's the range of it? Does it have a range?
Nope.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. All right. Broop. And you have a line or a path illuminates itself, and it goes along
Intelligence.
along sort of south along this boardwalk, and then it turns down one of the many streets, like probably 12th place, and it looks like it's heading inland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and follow that, or I'll just follow Lakshmi.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, I had to make an additional roll. I succeeded in that too. But I have to make an intelligence plus survival roll to follow the trail.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. So you follow the path, and it leads to a like an apartment building. It's small. It's probably like a little 2-story apartment building. It's one of those ones that were sort of like an open face apartment where there's probably like 5 units on the bottom floor. And then there's like a little exposed walkway, and there's 5 units on the top floor. And it leads up the stairs into room number 24.
Cool. I am going to give a little rat tap tap on the door and invoke some awe to get him real excited about seeing me again.
Okay. So you knock on the door,
Correct.
and you hear someone. It's not a voice you recognize. Say, "Who is it?"
Yes, I am looking for Mr. Cartwright.
There's no one here by that name.
Are you sure Stanley's not in there with you? I do desperately wish to speak with him.
There's no one here by that name. Go away, or I'm going to call the police.
Will you at least come to the door so I can speak with you in person?
Just to let you know, I am not standing in front of the door, Stu.
No. Just out of curiosity, where is everyone else?
I think I'll be down the stairs, sort of looking around to make sure that we don't have a lot of people going, hey, what's going on?
Okay.
I'm gonna be up against the hallway wall. Like, if the door were to swing open, I'm not on the side where I would get bashed by the door.
Got
on
it.
the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, to the side, several feet away, using Cloak of Shadows to be invisible.
Is there a back entrance to this place?
There's a balcony.
Then I will be standing outside of the balcony, also cloaked in shadow.
Okay, are you going to be on the balcony? Are you going to jump up?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going to jump up.
Okay.
I could, but I'm going to be right outside.
Okay. I'm calling the police.
Can I slap some
Oh, you muted again.
Can I slap some persuasion seduction on that to try to get him to not call the police?
You can try, sure.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and do that.
So this is just a plain old skill roll, correct? Or are you using a power, a discipline?
Sorry about that. Okay, this is normal skill roll, so it's gonna be persuasion, seduction, and I'm guessing charisma or manipulation. Which one would you like?
I don't think it would be charisma at this point since you're talking through a door. Let's make it manipulation.
And the specialty I have, seduction, would give me just one extra die, right?
I believe so, yes.
That would be 2 successes with 1 on the hunger die.
Okay. All right. So you basically just try to convince him to open the door yet again. Like, what is your tactic?
Yeah, my tactic is basically to get him interested enough in what I have to say to open the door.
Okay.
So that I can awe him.
Okay. So he waits a second after you finish talking, and he says, "I told you to go away. The police are on their way."
I'm just gonna look at the other members of the party. Like, any ideas?
Okay, so I'm gonna motion to Floyd to like basically take out the door.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand back, and I'm gonna leap up onto that second floor and into the door in one fell swoop.
Okay. That sounds exciting.
I have soaring leap, which is free to use, so I will just use my momentum to smash the door open with my unbreakable vampire body.
Yeah, you can do that. So you blast through the door.
Right. Yeah. From jumping from the courtyard up over the railing into the door. Yes.
Yeah. Give me just like a athletic strength, just to see how well. I mean, even if you.
2 points of athletics today.
Even if you fail it, you'll succeed because that's kind of what the discipline does. But I just want to kind of have an idea.
Athletic strength and a hunger die.
Well, yeah. Replace whatever your hunger is.
If your cat lets you roll dice.
Yeah, he just jumped up on me. It's just it's a thing. So 3 successes.
Okay.
1 on the hunger die.
Okay.
Apparently, he's good luck.
Oh, so what did you get on the hunger die? Oh, it tells you if you get the crazy thing, right?
Right. That's right.
Okay. So that's a. Okay. You jump up, kind of all in one swell foop, and blast your way through the door, and you are confronted with the barrel of a shotgun and just barely roll to your left to kind of get out of the way as he fires it. So there is now a gun, and there's a blast coming out the door. I'm assuming none of you were standing directly in front of the door since Floyd kicked it in.
Can I use my rapid reflexes to disarm him?
Yes. Give me a brawling plus dexterity. You're not. You're still muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was pushing the button down, but probably not hard enough. Okay. All right. Okay. So, brawl and athletics. Got it.
Yeah.
It was brawl and dexterity.
Yeah, brawl and dexterity.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brawl and dex. That doesn't change. Yeah. 2 successes.
Okay.
Hey, Joy, your picture froze.
That's good. At least it's good on here. All right.
I was reading, sorry.
You grab onto the gun. The guy's able to hold on to it. So you haven't snatched it completely out of his hand, because I did this as a contest. And he got the same number of successes. So you basically have the gun, and he pulled the gun past you so that you're no longer in danger of being shot by it. And you can kind of control where he points it, but he's still holding on to it. Oh, and by the way, he's a priest. And you're muted.
Right. What I'd like to do is actually take the gun and, using my improvised melee skill, use the butt of the gun to smash him into the chin. So in other words, I'm holding onto the shotgun with 2 hands. I want to jam it towards his face and smack him with it.
I'm going to have everyone else do a round, and then that'll be your next turn.
Copy that.
Anyone else doing anything? Because you heard the gun go off. Yep.
I'm going to rush in and see if I see Mr. Cartwright.
Okay. You run in. This is like a little living room. This is like a small apartment, maybe 1 or 2 bedroom. He's not in the living room. Definitely not in the living room. Lakshmi?
I am going to spend a round making my scorpions touch blood.
Okay. Anna Maria? Is it Anna Maria?
Anna Sophia.
Anna Sophia. I keep forgetting that.
I'm going to use the unseen passage to move in unseen, and try and see what's going on in there first.
In the first room?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a priest standing there. He looks like he's like a serious priest, because he's wearing the long robes. He's not wearing pants and a shirt. So he must belong to some kind of order.
Like Catholic vestments.
Yeah. But but he's not wearing the sashes and that kind of stuff.
Pants cummerbund?
No cummerbund, no pants. He's wearing the gown thing that sometimes they wear. And you see that he's got there's a couch there, and he's got a Bible, a crucifix, some other text sitting there, and there's also a dagger there as well. And that's about what you can see in a turn.
Something I just realized, Stu, I could not have entered because I have that flaw. I have to be invited in.
Okay, so you're outside list looking. Okay. Whatever you said, Samantha, we couldn't hear it. You were muted. You're still muted. And you're still...
Sorry, I was looking up abilities. And
okay.
Do I have time to do something once I get in there, or no?
Yeah, a little bit, sure.
Okay, that's what I was trying to look up, how compel works. Do I have to be visible, or can I invisibly walk behind this priest and whisper something weird in his ear?
Is compel dominance?
Yes.
I think doesn't dominance require eye contact?
I don't know.
Let me look.
Most dominate powers do.
And I also think, I'm not sure, because it seems like last game, but if you make any attack, you become visible. I think we had that with Scully when he tried to do certain things, right? Same ability?
Oh, is this a...
Sam, are you looking for mesmerize? Is that the power you're using?
Maybe it's not. Is this a presence thing, or is this a dominate thing?
It is dominate. It's level 1.
There it is. I was blind.
It kind of hides. It took me a while to find it too.
With eye contact, the vampire could issue the victim a single... So you would have to become visible.
By the way, Stu, I'm basically just going to hold an action to grab anybody that tries to leave by the balcony.
Okay. Are you going to make yourself visible? Anna Sophia?
Tempting. My other option is to just walk behind him and strangle the crap out of him. No, so that would be brawl plus what?
Well, Dex, probably. Oh, well, you don't really have to hit him because he can't see you. So you basically would come up behind him and grab him. I would say, brawl.
Yeah, I just want to like put him in a sleeper hold.
Okay, I would say brawl plus strength.
Okay, sure, why not? Let's try that.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
Okay.
Well, and he is surprised, so I would give him at least a die penalty to his defense if you're rolling a defense for him.
Right. That's what I'm checking the combat rolls right now. It's been a while since we've. No successes. Okay. All right, so you've got him in a stranglehold, and I'm going to say he's going to take a point of whatever it's called, minor damage per turn while he's in that. Well, he's going to take 2 for the first turn because that's the difference in successes.
I believe it's called bashing damage.
Is that what they call it now? I don't know. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think she's strangling him. I was going to bash him.
Oh, by all means, feel free.
Okay.
I think it's bashing, lethal, and aggravated damage.
Well, there's only 2. There's only 2 now. They got rid they got rid of the middle one. So Felix, go ahead and make that awareness wits.
Almost forgot my hunger die.
Oh God! Don't do that.
Nine, 9, 7, 10, and my hunger die was a 9.
Oh, okay. So that's 4 successes.
That would be 4 successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
About a half a block away, because you're kind of watching the window and kind of looking around. You see someone who's been parked. Looks like you didn't see someone like walk out and get into this car. So obviously, whoever was sitting in this car has been sitting there for a while, and you see that the car starts and they take off kind of with like a little wheel squeal. Not a lot, not like burning rubber, but just like they left in a haste. It's about half a block from you.
Okay. Can I spot the license plate number? I mean, I got a pretty good roll on my awareness.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got the license number. Okay. And then,
I don't feel like I'm in a position where I can chase. It's a car, right? So, yeah.
Right.
Don't you have blink? Aren't you blinky?
No, I only have 1 dot in potence.
No, he's talking about celerity.
No, I don't have celerity. I have obfuscate, animalism, and potence.
Okay. So it's back to Floyd.
Yeah, so I was just going to try to since I've got my both hands or one hand on the shotgun, is to smash him in the face with it, hoping he lets go.
Okay. go ahead and roll. Let's say brawl plus strength, and I'm going to let you add. I'm going to let you add 2 dice to it.
Probably just let him add his potence dice, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. What's your potence? How many dots?
2.
Yeah, there you go. Just add 2.
3 successes, 1 on the hunger die.
Okay. All right, you knock him out.
So it looks like he was doing an exorcism.
Great. Is there any sign of Stanley?
Yeah, he's in the like. If you look around the apartment, you go in like through the side door, and he's in a he's in one. There's 2 bedrooms. He's in one of the 2 bedrooms, laying on the bed. He is out like a light. There is a small vial and a syringe on the nightstand.
By the by, I'm going to be checking that dating app for any local signals that might be alerting somebody to something.
Okay.
Great. Does someone want to grab him for me? I can't really come in until I get invited and just knocked out the person who
Oh, that's
invited
right.
me
You were
in.
outside, so you're peeking through the window, I'll say. I keep forgetting that you can't go in.
The person that owns the place isn't around anymore, so you can probably walk in. Actually, I was going to ask, you said Anna Sophia came with us, Sam?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now, yeah, once the guy's dead, does that still count?
Was he dead? I thought he was just unconscious. If he's dead, then I think I'm probably fine.
I don't know.
Well, that's how we treated it for all the other people's houses. Is if he's dead, you're
Okay.
fine.
All right, so
But if he's just unconscious, I don't think that the same rules apply.
yeah, he's unconscious. He's not dead.
It's not our place to kill this man in Anna Sophia's territory. This is a priest. It might be a useful tool for her. She has say about what we should do with him.
Oh yes, we should take him back to the cathedral.
I mean, if you want this man in your house, that's your decision.
We just came for Mr. Cartwright.
But Felix, you seem to have gotten distracted for a moment.
Felix is outside.
Oh,
the back.
never mind. Never mind, my bad.
Well, then I say if someone can grab Samuel, and if we want to grab this priest, we can get them on the boat and get back before sunrise.
I am going to call Lakshmi.
Okay.
So I don't know how it's going in there, but outside there was a car observing the building that drove off.
Damn it. Did you get a license plate?
Of course.
I knew I could count on you.
I'm going to grab the body and hand it to Colin. And after that, I'm going to search this place for any ID information and anything else with Anna Sophia's permission, please.
Of course.
Okay. It looks like this kind of looks like it might be some kind of a safe house. There's not a lot of stuff in the refrigerator. Most of the food is in cupboards, and it's stuff that can keep for a long time. There doesn't seem to be, like, you go and check, because this is an apartment building. This isn't like a hotel, a motel. So I mean, you go and it's got there's beds, there's like built-in cabinets or like drawers, and you open them up and there's like almost nothing in them. So it looks like looking at the place, it looks like it's might be some kind of a safe house.
Because I was a doctor for so many years, what does the vial contain?
Oh, it's like some kind of very strong sedative.
Is there any left?
Yes.
And in the Bible, is there anything that, or was it open to any page in particular? Or is there anything in the Bible?
The Bible is closed.
So I'll do a quick flip through it and then maybe shake it out and see if there's anything.
Okay.
If there's one of those little ribbons.
Yeah, that. If there's a ribbon that's marked, also, before I shake it out, I'd like to do the whole sort of like, you set it down gently and see where it opens up to see which the page is opened up to the most.
Okay. It is. It tends to open up around the Gospel of Luke.
I am your father.
And you kind of read through it, and there's nothing there. There's certainly nothing there about vampires or drinking blood or anything of that sort.
Now that I know that the car is driven away, I'm going to walk over to the area where it was parked.
Okay.
Is there any debris or food wrappers or anything that was thrown out of the car?
No. Mm-mm.
I would like to join you down there, and I'll run a search on the license plate and see if I can find out who it belongs to.
Okay. That would be what, technology plus wits?
That sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Right. Remind me after this is done to ask for ID on the priest.
I got 5 successes with a regular success on my blood die, so it is not missing.
Okay.
We should all play from home more often. This is yeah. I think Stu is like got magnets under his table to mess up.
I do. The car is registered to St. Luke's Church in Long Beach.
Well, I think it might be wise to pay a visit. I don't want to have them tracking us back.
While they're investigating the car, Anna Sophia is going to ghoul this priest and then sedate him a little.
To ghoul him, well, he's unconscious. You're going to try to feed him blood unconscious?
Yep.
Okay.
Plus, can I take some of my blood in this syringe and combine it with a sedative as a 2-for-1?
Yes, I would say you could do that.
Devilish clever.
So cool. So it doesn't have to go in the mouth.
Right. Okay.
Great, let's do that.
And risk asphyxiating him. Okay. Yeah, you do that. And then you mix that with the propanol or whatever it is, and he's completely out now.
Perfect.
Now, I believe you have to hit him. You have to hit him with blood more than, I think you have to hit him 2 or 3 times. So this is like step 1, if I recall.
Yeah,
correctly.
it's lengthy to do that. You can't just do it like instantly.
Oh no, that's why we're taking him with me.
Okay.
Personally, I feel so great to see what's going to happen, but I feel real bad for that priest.
Sorry about it.
Meh.
Oh no, honey, don't apologize. That's awesomeness.
There's no way she wasn't kidnapping him for evil.
Gotta love, perverting a true believer through the ways of science.
Right? So good.
Alright, well, I'm just holding this unconscious man. I'd like to get back to the boat before we're noticed.
Well, let's get on out of here.
Well, we should go by St. Luke's.
In Long Beach? I don't think we have the time. And besides, right now, unless that person has his own boat, like yours truly, they're not getting off this island.
St. Luke's will still be there after our encounter at the Rose Bowl.
True. I just hate leaving loose ends. They're so messy, ragged, able to come and stab you in your sleep.
Well, they don't know who we are. I hate to say it, but the moat is rifled with kindred. We could be anybody from anywhere.
Perhaps perhaps Miss Lighthizer can help track down this car while we're away, since it was her domain and she might have more resources than we do.
It literally belongs to St. Luke's.
It would behoove us to let her know that it appears there are, if not vampire hunters, very fanatical priests on her island.
Right? It might be worth a boon from us to her to let her know that, although she did give us permission for that. But she might also have an in with the traffic people and might be able to keep track of this car for us while we're off defending the Rose Bowl.
I'll make sure to send her an appropriate message detailing the fact that there are priests on her island that she may want to investigate or eradicate per her will.
Unless, since we're so kind enough to remove this one from her domain.
I'm also calling Captain Roberts and having him and the crew be vigilant for a late model Impala gray license plate number, blah, 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 coming anywhere near the harbor to board a boat.
And we should be careful just waltzing into Long Beach without letting whoever is in charge there know that we're on our way.
Yeah, people from Long Beach can be mean.
Some of my
I
best
mean, there's
friends
some
are
real
from Long
jerks
Beach,
over
and they
there.
are mean.
Can confirm.
Okay. So you guys make it back to the boat. Someone who's carrying bodies.
That would be me and Anna Sophia, I think.
Give me.
I will help Anna Sophia carry the body.
Well, no, I just want like stealth, maybe wits rolls, just to make sure that, because you guys don't have a car or anything, so you're literally.
Subterfuge. Can we weekend at Bernie's this guy?
Oh, there you go. You could do that. I would allow that. Sure.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. I wanted to find some alcohol somewhere, maybe, and just douse both of us and make us look like frat boys who are trying to get back to a boat.
And put sunglasses on them, that kind of thing. Okay, yeah.
Naturally.
Just give me like either one of you. I would say resolve plus subterfuge, maybe.
Okay.
Would that work?
So I've got 4. I don't know if you have better, Sam.
I have a total of 7.
That's all you, boo-boo.
And big props to Sam for the Weekend at Bernie's reference.
Absolutely.
4 successes.
How many?
4.
4. Okay, awesome. All right, so you guys make it back to the boat. What did I say? Was it 30 minutes? So it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, you guys make it. You guys can make it back to your havens right before dawn. Like
I love the Gygaxian time counting. It's just so perfect.
you make it back. I mean, the sky's just starting to glow a little.
Perfect. We'll get a little bit of nice pre-dawn light through the stained glass windows as I securely tie this priest up in my abandoned cathedral.
Okay, excellent. All right. And then everyone is going to bed?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm actually going to head back to the mall because I haven't really had a place to figure out where to stay here yet.
Okay.
I am going to have one or two of my congregation members come to make sure this guy stays put.
Okay.
Yeah, can I have Floyd, based on the amount of sedative he was given, can you tell me how long Samuel Cartwright's going to be under?
Absolutely. Judging on the fact that it was an animal tranquilizer, and then I'm gonna wait till Stu tells me how many dice to roll. I can give you an amount.
You don't need to roll. I don't think. Probably the amount you gave him, he's probably going to be out for about 6 hours.
Can I put out a kind of like put a tag on that license plate so it pops up if it comes up on any, traffic cameras or anything?
Yeah, that's probably something that's going to take you some time to do. Because that
Can
involves...
I do it on the way home?
Yeah, go ahead and make another technology wits.
Also, I want to make sure that the person in charge of that island knows what's going on.
Right.
I'll send her a message the next night.
I wasn't saying that I necessarily needed to do it. I just want to make sure that it was done.
Okay.
No, yeah, for sure.
Keep us on the raid.
Well, she's Toreador. I'm Toreador. I'll get it taken care of.
I got 3 successes. Nothing on the hunger.
Okay. You got it set up so if the thing passes any of those cameras at stoplights, then it'll come up for you. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'll have Samuel bound.
Your mic is off, man.
Damn it! Hi, I hate my keyboard. I'm gonna have Samuel bound and fun gagged in the spare bedroom of my apartment, just in case he wakes up before I wake up, and then we can kind of reestablish our connection at the beginning of the next night.
Okay. All right.
Hot.
All right. So everyone goes to bed for the day. Let's go ahead and call it here because it's 6:55. Someone got a stain.
I did.
Roll. Okay, so you take your total health, your total humanity track, and then you have a certain number crossed off, which is the humanity you actually possess, and then you have 1 stain. So the remaining boxes, you roll that many dice, and you're looking for at least 1 success.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, all right. So you feel bad about what you did, and you erase the stain. And is there any XP things that anyone needs to do or anything like that? I'm going to give you guys 2 points.
That's
Two-
a question
two
I have. What is everybody's total? Because I don't seem to have that noted.
Oh, we talked about that at the session that you missed, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Was it
I mean, it was something like 2 points per session or something like that.
I don't remember.
6 sticks in my head, and then I had 3 left over from character creation, so I spent 9 just recently, and that's all I had written down. But again, I had 3 left over from something else.
So let's say it was 6.
So we're total at 8 now.
Your total of 8.
I think I put my extra point in dominate. Lord help me, I cannot remember.
I think I might want to get another point in either obfuscate or potence. I'm not sure.
Right. I was just looking at those charts today. I think it's on 118 about what the cost is.
Yeah, everyone can just slack me what it is they want to, what they want to spend it on. Just let me know.
All right. Well, I bought 2 points of athletics before I started this game today.
Okay.
I think I'm saving it for rank 4 presents. There's some good shit in there.
Okay.
I think I'm going to save mine for now, too.
Okay.
Coolio.
All right, so we're good. Thank you for joining us for, what was this, session 5? 5? Session 5 of The Glittering Night in Vampire Masquerade 5th edition. My name is Stu, and everyone can kind of figure out where they should say their names.
I'm
Whatever.
Jim.
I'm Joey.
Stork.
Pooja.
And Sam.
And thank you very much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.